Page 81, When the Saints Go Marching In. On the previous few pages, they give you some exercises in sight reading. This book has a lot of sight reading stuff in it. I really like that. You need to do as much of that kind of stuff as you can. It will make you a much better reader, because sight reading is a skill and it takes practice. So the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Then they also introduce you to the F chord. Well, for our purposes, and I'm going to use both hands because I've got to do both hands, is the C chord is here. And F chord, you simply go up the two top notes, go up to the next white key here. That's an F chord. And you'll get them when Saints Go Marching In. Every key has three what we call primary chords. Three main chords. They're used the most. They're really, I mean, all chords are important, but these are used the most. And in C, we're in the key of C major. They didn't tell you that, but I'll tell you that. C major, because you're using white keys, that's the key of C major. And the chords, the primary chords for C major, is the C chord, the F chord, the G7 chord, and the C chord. They got all three of the primary chords now for the key of C major. Every key has their own primary. It really helps a lot if you know what those are. And you're kind of used to, you get used to them, you see them over and over. Also, just in case you're wondering, I told you before that when the notes are like every other note, like that, the bottom note tells you the name of the chord. It's not always that way, but it is that way in triads like this. Well, an F chord is built on F. It's every other note. Well, if I take this chord and I take the C and I simply put it on the bottom, that's still an F chord. I just rearrange the notes. That's the arrangement we're using here. And if you're curious, the G7 is the same way. It's a G chord. The G on the bottom. We're using this arrangement. So what we have is here, and all I did is I took the G and I put it on top. And then I added the F. I'm getting a little more than I want to get into right now. Just give you an idea that these chords make sense. But we use these arrangements so we're not moving the hand around. So I can get all these chords without moving the hand around. So the arrangement of the notes in the chord don't change what the chord is. It's still, it is what it is. It's the names of those notes. It could be anywhere. I could have a C, I could have an E, and I could have a G here. It's still a C chord. It's just a weird arrangement. Now, for Saints Go Marching In, this is 4/4 time again. But if you look at the first measure, there's only 3 quarter notes in it. This is what we call an incomplete measure, because it doesn't have all the notes. Every measure's got to have 4 beats in it. That's what the top 4 means in 4/4 time. Incomplete measure, pickup measure, anacrusis, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. The point is, all 4 notes are not there. So if you look at the last measure of this piece, you'll see it has 1 beat in it. What they do is they take the last measure, usually, not always, the last measure, and they chop it. And they'll take whatever they need out of that and they stick it in front. So between the pickup measure and the last measure, it's the same measure technically, and it's 4 counts. So we're good. It works. It's okay. We can deal with it. But the point is, on the top here, you're coming in on beat 2, not beat 1. Beat 1 is down there at the bottom, the last measure. So it's 2. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, that's tied. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So each time you do this, it's like on 2 of the measure, beat 2. Already started out in the right hand. You got that, and that whole note's tied to a quarter note. You hold it down for 5 counts. It's not a slur, it's a tie now. Watch out. And then you got half notes in the second line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that D is tied. Then third line down, first measure, you get a rest. So it's 1 rest. 3, 1. half notes, and then the last measured third line, it's a quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's tied to a half note, so you're going to hold that down for 5 counts, and this is great. The left hand will help you keep it straight because it's got quarter notes while you're holding this other note down forever. You got quarter notes so you can keep track of where you are. In the left hand, you're starting with chords, C chord, and the second line, last measure, says G7 chord. And then the third line down, last measure, that's an F chord. You get that? So you got the chords in the right and left hand. Put them together. So it's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, rest. So both hands get a rest there. You're quiet for one beat. One, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get the idea? I don't really want to play it all for you. I'd prefer you be able to figure it out on your own and then just check it, see if you've got it correct with me. There's no slurring in this, so just play the notes as best you can. Dynamics, it's loud at the beginning. That is the melody. These chords, there are multiple people singing, other people might be singing these notes. Oh, in the saints. It's kind of a counter melody. But keep them soft. Don't play them as loud though. Keep them down. And the second line on the whole notes, definitely keep those down. Because if there are other people singing here, they're not singing this part. They don't sing until the words show for the bottom staff. March time, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. You're going to march to this marching band. It's about how fast it would go, although you take it slow at first and gradually speed it up. Has a repeat sign at the end, so you'd play it twice. There's a little tricky spot there in the third line at the end, in the rhythm, and the hands play the first beat, and then the right hand plays the second beat. And then the left hand plays the third beat. And then you're holding the right hand down as you continue to play the left hand. So it's a little weird there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So watch out on the rhythm. It's different for the different hands, and that makes it a little more complicated. And I'd like to play it with you now slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. So I'll give us 5 counts now, because I want to give a full 4 counts because that's how many beats are in a measure, and we come in on beat 2, so it'll be another beat, so it's 5 counts total, and then we come in. 1, 2, 3, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.